So, the big point is, there's what you say, and when I say you, I mean an organisation who's trying to brand the product, the issue, the person, the service. Yeah? And it doesn't actually matter. It really doesn't matter. Well, doesn't matter is the wrong way to phrase it. That's not quite the best characterisation. My point is that you can say whatever you like. It's whatever your audience receives that matters. And it's really hard to do. It's hard to get across to organisations how fundamental this is. And I'll give you an example. I have a client in the UK. I went and I did a marketing workshop for them, maybe a month or 5 weeks ago. We spent 4 days in a dark room sweating out all the stuff about vision and mission and who are we and what are we going to do, why do we want to be in the US, what have we got value, and you know, all the stuff that you do, which is fun. It's just hard work. There's no rocket science about any of this, by the way. It's just hard work. And most organisations just don't make the commitment to do the hard work that you need to do in order to succeed. So here's what my UK client came out. And I am going to read this. Yeah? This is what we ended up with. Customers find it easy and enjoyable. So there's the empathetic bit. To do business with XYZ. They will gain personal and business value and are inspired to evangelise to others about their experience and to recommend XYZ. Now, great words. I love the words. Yeah? The problem is, how on earth do you make that real? So later in the week, we have a conversation about what does marketing mean and what does branding mean. And the guy in charge of marketing says, no, we're not going to do any of that stuff. We don't buy this emotional stuff. And I said, well, what's the communication mechanism with clients, existing clients? Email. What do you email them? Well, we email them a schedule of where we're going to be and what we're going to do. Okay, how do you get feedback from them? Oh, we don't, we just send it out. You think that's communication? It's not. There's no emotional appeal there. So they'd all signed up to this, is my point. Everybody nodded, and this happens a lot when you're talking about something that's a little, as ethereal as branding is. This is not an easy subject, yeah? Everybody will nod to this, but nobody knows how to turn it into action. And your job as marketers or brand builders or brand custodians is to make sure that everybody in the organisation eats, sleeps and breathes this and makes it real on a daily basis. And we'll talk a lot more about that later. But it's easy to do the words, it's hard to translate them into actions. So here's why you should care, and I apologise for the quality of this. This was the only one I could find that conveyed the message. And really what this is saying is that, so we've got the S&P 500 index, which is this purple line. Then we've got some unknown index that's here. Yeah, it's done a bit better than the S&P 500. And then we've got the Interbrand 100 top brands portfolio, and this is stock price performance. Yeah, look at the difference. And the whole point is that if you've got a brand, you can command a premium price and customer loyalty, by the way. And you can. It's not necessarily all about cash. It is about value. So. We were talking earlier about how I have a notebook, and the comment was, yeah, but I can buy a Dell for maybe $900. Yeah, why do I pay $2,500 for this and not $900 for a Dell? The answer is there's some intangible value here, and we'll look a lot more at what that means in real stock price. It's hard to defend, as we will come to see. You only need one false step in any of those areas, and it can all go very quickly. We'll talk about a couple of examples in a minute. But this is really what brand is about. Two things. One is stock price if you're a public company, but more important in my mind is that empathy, that link with whoever your consumer, your user, or your buyer is. Because that means they're going to stay with you. And if you don't know about lifetime value of a customer, and many organisations never even think about that, go away and do some study on lifetime value of a customer. I'm not interested in the transaction today as much as I am about making sure they stay with me. I want my clients to stay with me for the next 5 years. So I'll do anything to make sure that they're a satisfied client, including giving them their money back if that's what they want. Okay, so the real world, we've got a little towards this. Sorry about the fancy graphics. Our first time with a real big keynote presentation. It really is what you, i.e. they in this slide, you the consumer, they your audience, feel it is. Not just the logical, intellectual bit. It really is about that gut feeling, yeah? So that bit when, you know, I checked into the Luxor on Sunday. It took over 40 minutes to get from parking my car to my hotel room on Sunday. 40 minutes. Las Vegas is supposed to be all about the experience. And when I get to the front, there's a guy who's doing the ushering to all the clerks, and he points me at one, and I walk over and I stand there, and the woman is clearly she was finishing off from the last guest that she was checking in. I stood there for over 3 minutes without an acknowledgement, a smile. I'll just be a moment, sir, I need to finish this. And then at the end of that time, she turned around and said, I was busy. That was it. Now, what does that make me think about the Luxor? Does it set me in a good mind? You know, it took 4 days, really, for them to redress that. Go and read my blog. I also was showing somebody earlier their idea of a business hotel, and they knew we were there for a business conference. The internet connection is a cable hidden in the TV armoire. There was nothing in the directory that I could find. I had to call guest services. I pull this cable out, and the only table it goes to is a little table at the side of the bathroom, and it's then running 18 inches above the floor, directly across the room from side to side. And it's like, you guys think business people are going to come? But, so it's what I think. It doesn't matter what Luxor says it is, and it's got some really nice punchy stuff, got some great advertising about who it is and what it is. You know, what I think it is a very cool business hotel with rude clerks, an outstanding maintenance technician who walked in off the, you know, off the walkway outside and fixed the internet and the TV for me without me having to call. So he's great. He's redressed the balance. But 2 wrongs don't make a right. And it's not an even scale. And they are your audience. Yeah? So actually somebody was talking to me, I was marketing for a client on IT architecture services. That's one of the clients I have from the UK. And we were at the Gartner show in Las Vegas. And so one of the guys from the company said, so what do you know about our products? And I said, well, not much. I haven't heard anything about TOGAF in the last 18 months because I haven't been working in that space. Why would they want to target me? So one of the traps that you'll often find in organizations is they'll say, nobody knows about my product. You know, if I ask my mum, she doesn't know about it. Well, if their mum isn't part of the target audience, that's quite right. You don't want everybody to know everything. You want to be able to identify the folks to whom you're talking, your audience, and you want to be able to communicate with them.